Can I tell you something? I am so glad that we have finally made it to lightweight pant / short season. Oh, I am so excited! Look what I got! Facebook Marketplace find of the year! I feel like it's really important to talk about this piece, but if you don't want to chat, you can jump to the timestamp below where I start refinishing it and watch the whole refinishing process.
Now, it's been about 8 months since our addition was complete and the renovation of our house was complete, and I've been feeling like I'm ready finally to really invest in each individual room and make it a little bit more functional, a little bit more my style, and part of that sometimes involves moving furniture pieces from room to room, adding new furniture that you think fits better than what you originally had, and so today I'm really excited to tackle not only the living room, which is brand new to our house, but also a space in the basement that has been 100% neglected since we moved in. A huge thanks to GoDear Design for sponsoring today's video.
We went to some tropical islands for spring break, and I came back and I noticed that when in the past I've come back and have sun on my face, I look like I have freckles, and now I look like I have sunspots, age spots. All right, I hope you didn't have any children around. Sorry if that scared you. This is a family-friendly channel. I feel like that was a little bit thriller territory, so we're gonna avoid that in the future. What's the verdict on these? You know, it's a fad. It's one of those things you see literally everywhere now. It's like, well, it can't hurt, so I may as well try it. Too early in my trial process to tell if it is worth it. But if you have one of these red light therapy masks, this one also does like blue light and other lights that I should look up what those are for. If you use one of these for any length of time, is it gonna cure my sunspots? Please? Now let's chat about my new cabinet. I have struggled with the previous cabinet that I had here, which I refinished in 2021 at the height of being locked down and still having uncertainty in life in general. And I have loved it for 4 years from an aesthetic standpoint, but I've actually mentioned it multiple times on my channel as I have decorated it. The way that the previous one was structured, there were 3 panels, and that middle panel was just always killing me with my styling, and I always struggled with it. And so I've been on the hunt for a replacement cabinet, and guess what? To buy them brand new, I would have had to take out a small mortgage. But you know that pretty much anything that you can buy brand new, you can also find secondhand, and I love sharing secondhand finds with you. This cabinet, I feel like inflation hit Facebook Marketplace, okay? A little bit. It's all right. It still was about $2,300 cheaper than what you can find them for brand new. And I guarantee that it is way more well-made than anything I can buy right now. Look at this. The sale price is in the 2000s, the original price is in the 3000s. Burn, heart, furniture, vintage. It's not an antique, but it's older. I was watching this thing the other day, and a younger person said that she was researching something that happened in the late 1900s. I should just do a reverse image search. Okay, I found the exact same one, multiple other Facebook Marketplace posts. Let's see what this one says. Found it for $7.50 on another resale site. I paid a lot less than that. This listing says that it originally came from the Stonecroft collection. Hers is a lighter color than mine, so I'm not sure it's the exact same, but everything else is identical. She originally paid $6,400 when she bought it, but it came with a chair and table set. It's not quite there. All right, my best guess is that it's a 90s piece, so 30 some years old. This, look at this. I found a bunch of the exact same cabinets, but in a blonde finish rather than this honey oak. So when I bought the cabinet, the pictures actually looked a lot lighter than when I got there to pick it up in person. And at first I was a little disappointed because I wanted to keep it a natural wood color in this room. I wanted to just bring in some more warmth with wood. And obviously the red honey oakish, not quite what I'm looking for in this space. So now after seeing the blonde version of this, it makes me wonder, should I sand it down and pickle it and lighten it? Because I know how to do that. I've done that on a cabinet and it's a painful experience, but it's doable. Or do I paint it a nice kind of green, or do I paint it black? Because I really did love the black pop that the past cabinet that I had in here before provided. Whatever shall I do? Let's find out together. Now there are several things, hello in there, that drew me to this cabinet. Number one, the crown. It matches the crown that I have pretty much in the rest of my house, and it's a really nice, like, substantial look. I loved the mullions in the glass. It dresses it up really nice. And I really loved the corners. They're rounded, just like my kitchen island. So I thought that would be a really pretty feature to add in to the living room. And then also it provides way more functional storage than my last one. Previously, this portion was stationary. I couldn't get into it, so I had to access the middle section through the sides, and it was just really impractical. I also like the little feet, which I have in my kitchen as well. So I'm kind of mimicking a lot of the pieces that are in my kitchen. I also liked this hardware, but not really this hardware. So I might figure out a good replacement for some of those pieces to bring it up to date a little bit better. Now currently everything that was in the other cabinet is everywhere else. It's in the dining room, it's on the kitchen counter, I gotta put it back. I'm not ready to actually refinish this piece yet. And it kind of kills me like the slightest amount to put it all back and then take it all back out for when I'm ready to refinish it. But it'll kill me more if I leave it out, so here we go. The storage is just so much better in this one. Oh. That's different than the last one. Previous plan's not gonna work on the top. The shelves are glass and they actually have a groove in the back so you could put plates up if you wanted to. That's a fun feature that my last cabinet didn't have. Glass shelves scare me a little bit. The woman that I bought this from was so sweet. She had saved Amazon styrofoam packaging from her own personal packages in case I needed to use it to like sandwich my glass in some packaging. Sometimes you have Facebook Marketplace experiences and you really wish that you hadn't. Other times you meet fantastic people. Now I'm gonna play with like placement and everything when I actually finish the cabinet. For now, I just want to get the stuff off my counter.
Now, one of the reasons that I was hoping to refinish the wood in some form or fashion was just because I don't have any honey oak tones in the rest of my wood. They're more blonde or it is a walnut, dark walnut. So I feel like that wood tone just doesn't quite go with my home, but I'm contemplating options.
Okay, now believe it or not, I've actually had this in my home for several weeks now, living with it the way that it is to see if I liked the way that the wood tone looked with my house. And I think that sometimes that can be an overlooked part of the process. A lot of times people see something, they're like, nah, it's not quite right, and they just drive headlong into some kind of solution, and I am usually that way. But this time, I was tired. I did not want to tackle a full-blown makeover of this cabinet because there are so many very intricate parts to it that it would take a long time for me to refinish this rather than paint it. And what I want to do is refinish it, and I don't want to settle and paint it just because it's easier. So until probably the fall, when like school's back in session, the weather's not super nice anymore, I don't want to be outside, I don't have my kids home with me because they're back in school, that's probably when I'll actually tackle the refinishing portion of this project, because what I want to do is strip it and do a darker stain that doesn't have the red and orange undertones in it and make it how I really want it. And sometimes that just requires time and patience. And so I'm preaching to the choir, and I'm gonna be patient. So in the meantime, what I've been doing is testing out some other faster options to give it a little bit of a makeover, but without the actual effort of a real refinishing project. And that is where GoDear comes in. Take a look at this. I've been testing the colors to see which one I like better. Now, GoDear is this absolutely stunning decorative fabric. It is paper woven. The detail is incredible. This particular color is called Velvet Bark, and I got a second roll as well. This one is called Blue Yogurt. Now, I actually really love that these are called decorative fabrics because you can use it for whatever creative process you can come up with. So I'm gonna use this one, I think goes best with the wood tone on my cabinet. I'm gonna use this as a backing for the cabinet, but I'm also going to make, I think maybe like a table runner. I think that this one would be so beautiful as a picture frame mat to make the mat more interesting and textural. And they also can actually be used as wallpapers. It's non-pasted, so you paste it and apply it to a wall. How gorgeous would this be as a wallpaper? So I'm gonna get to work. Now again, I am using both the Velvet Bark and the Blue Yogurt decorating fabric in this project. It is a paper woven material. It has beautiful soft organic tones, and I think it's going to be beautiful texture as a background for this cabinet. So I'm just starting by cutting to size. You just use a sharp pair of shears. You can pre-mark your paper so you know exactly where you're cutting it, and I'm actually using these two-sided sticky dots to install it because I want it to be a very temporary solution until I'm ready to fully make over this cabinet. So that's removable, would also be a great option for renters, but you can also paste this directly onto your surface as long as it has been cleaned properly. It was such a simple install. I just cut it to size and popped it on with those two-sided sticky dots, and now there is so much organic movement behind the styling pieces that I'm using, and I really think that it's just a fun way to change up a cabinet, even if it's temporary, but you could also make it a permanent solution. And then I'm using the Blue Yogurt color to do my mat for the picture frame. Again, just simply marked where I needed to cut, used scissors to cut it, and then put it back into the frame, and it adds all this organic movement to the picture. There's a variety of different colors in this decorating fabric, so you can take a look at the link in my description where I'm also sharing a discount code and see all the different colors to see what might complement your space the best. And then with what was left over, I used it as a very simple table runner. It adds so much pretty movement to the table, and it would also be really beautiful as placemats. So there's lots of different uses for this, and I'm really happy with just these really subtle changes. Make sure and check out all the information on GoDear linked in the description, and let's head down to the basement next. We are gonna make a little cozy corner. We've got some golf putting practice fabric on the ground. I got things flying by. So part of this process is just trying to like make the basement feel the same as I'm so glad that didn't go through the door. Ellie, move! We're trying to make the basement feel like the upstairs, because I just feel like there's always been a disconnect between the two, style-wise and also comfort-wise. Why is this chair so heavy? Took significantly more effort than I expected.
Now, since I was not ready to give up on this black cabinet because it has been a part of me, it has been a part of my house, it has been a part of gracing my space and teaching people how to remake furniture and how to paint correctly so that you don't have chipping and all of the things that go into what I do, I moved it to the basement. And I'm going to continue to try and style it, even though it presents a big challenge for me. So I placed it on the wall that I previously had this console table, and I swapped the console table to the other side and did some really simple spring styling. And then back into the black cabinet, I am just going to put some flowers and some of my favorite pottery and try and bring it up to speed with my upstairs. I don't know if you feel this way in your home, but I feel like there is a very big disconnect from my upstairs to my downstairs. Part of that is just lower ceilings and bulkheads and some of those inconsistencies that you don't traditionally have on a main level. And so I want to try and just overcome that with really pretty styling, creating this cozy little moment with a reading chair and some books in a cabinet and just some of my favorite pretty things down here in the basement. I actually feel like I had a little bit more freedom to just try new ways of styling since it's down in the basement and doesn't need to kind of fit the mold that my upstairs feels like. And so I do like how it came together. It's just really simple, some of my favorite things. And I love that it's created a bit of a purpose for this previously unused room. I feel the console table actually fits much better on this wall than it did previously, kind of floating on a large wall on the other side, and I love how it came together. It was actually so fun to create these two living spaces with two different types of cabinets and two different types of styling, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching, my friends. I'll see you next time.